The topics and opinions expressed on the following show are solely those of the hosts and their guests and not those of W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4WN Radio, its employees, or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4WN Radio.
Welcome to Debbie Changes Lives radio and TV show. I'm Debbie, your certified holistic health coach who helps people revitalize their lives by identifying the root cause of their health issues and creating a custom natural strategy to address them in the areas of body, mind, and soul. I am a certified holistic health coach, and I'm not allowed to treat, cure, prevent, or heal or diagnose any diseases, but I can certainly help your body be more efficient by reducing symptoms, and you'll feel better. So I am so excited to be part of a new, unique collaborative with the House of Influence. That's where my new 6-month weight release program comes in. It is dovetailed with you being able to share your story of your transformation in a chapter of the book. And you get to do this in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. This whole project is called the Beach Reveal Retreat. And Julie Ann will give you some information a little bit later in the show. I'm going to tell you my portion of it, where I'm going to help you release your weight and get to your goal weight. And I certainly have experience in that from that information because of my own weight release story. I released 70 pounds, and Rebel, shut up the slide of me, please. There you go. And I've kept the weight off. And this is going to be my 10th anniversary this month, where I've actually remained the same size. So that's what makes me different. There is no yo-yo weight gaining and release. So what I do is I actually help you through this journey, not only for the weight release, but also for working with your mindset. I help you envision a new version of yourself, and also I work with, your limiting beliefs that you think you can't do it. So it's my portion of the program starts on March 1st, 2024, and there's once you've made a decision to be with me, and there's an onboarding process where we take measurements, weight, height. You tell me about your health conditions at that time, and I will be checking your BMI and recording it. That becomes your baseline to improve upon. Then you tell me which plan you want to do. There's a choice between 2 programs. One is the Keto 90, and the other is a Wellness 90. I go through the details of those individual plans with you, with what you chose, helping you choose the foods, and also how to shop, and also how to prepare meals. And if you have any questions, I help you with that as well. And if you remember on my first radio show, TV show, not only did I tell you about my weight loss transformation story, but I also told you about I actually had a team that won the semifinals in a weight loss challenge. And they were a mighty small team, but they actually beat out other larger teams. And one was doing the Keto 90 and lost 35 pounds. The other one was doing Wellness 90 that was 25 pounds. And they all did that in 3 months. Now, the products are going to be additional on top of this program price because everybody is a unique fingerprint of health. And I just can't include that in this program. But you will get healthier, okay? So what is great is that after we get you going and you chose the meal plan that you've done, I handle it just like I handled that weight loss, win, where they could become some of those finalists. So you'll be on Zoom, where we have weekly check-ins. we go through your challenges and we go through your celebrations. You may have to change food choices, may have to reset your mindset, and and also delve into making sure that you envision the new version of yourself. And then we just continue for several weeks. So with this program, the rest of the 23 weeks will be very similar with the group coaching that I've done before. So you will come in with your check-ins. And what's so great about group coaching is that it's so much fun. It's a friendly competition and camaraderie. You get to know other people. People become accountability partners. And I'll be helping you celebrate your wins that you've had, and also what you're having obstacles with or challenges with emotionally, or with the plan. So I work with you that. I certainly have the toolbox to get you through any challenge or plateaus that you may encounter. And it might be just releasing those limited beliefs. So after the 6 months of that, there is going to be a 6 month after the 6 months of that, there'll be an accountability group where you'll be on Facebook in a private group, and you'll be asking me questions and making comments and acting like accountability partners with each other. I will meet with you once a month to answer questions. I also answer your questions on the platform, and you will be in maintenance mode at that time. And if we're really lucky, Julie Ann will come in and talk about some things to think about your chapter in the book. Plus, I'll give you some hints along the way because I've written my own chapter in my own book. So right now, the Beach Reveal Retreat is scheduled for November 6th through the 13th of 2024. Okay, so I'm going to be introducing Julie Ann very shortly. She's my guest from the House of Influence, and she's going to go into more details about the book creation and the retreat. Julie Ann is the owner of House of Influence in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And she truly gives you an authentic Mexican experience. She works with health and wellness coaches to do a collaborative project that showcases their clients that have extraordinary success stories in a chapter of a book. And pretty much it shows how the coach helped them break through their limiting beliefs. She's the founder of Influence Publishing, Inc., and has published 300 authors in the last 13 years. And an interesting note, she's actually done a TEDx speak on the gift of dyslexia. She has her own podcast called Live with Collective Promise, and she has a radio segment on Radiant FM radio in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And she also writes a writer's corner in a travel tribune. Even more exciting right now, she is launching a new House of Influence Roku TV channel, which is actually going to be filming right now of a retreat that's happening in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. So, Julie Ann, I have a lot of things to talk to you about.
You do, and I can't wait for you to be Debbie, and also your people that are going to be joining you. I'm so excited to be able to celebrate with people. It's the best thing to do here in Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, sure is, because it'd be fun and relaxing, as well as helping you write your book. But one thing I want to let you know, we have something in common.
We do.
We do. I'm dyslexic too.
Wow. Well, you see, dyslexic people are the creative people. So that's why I did a TEDx talk on the topic, because it's very misunderstood, because we just have, our brains are just different, because we're very creative people. And, some of the most creative people, like Steve Jobs, for example, are also dyslexic. So that's why our brains are very creative, and that's why we're able to come up with interesting things like the Beach Reveal Retreat.
Exactly. So it's just destined that we were supposed to meet, and I'm so happy we did. So tell us a little bit about Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and how long have you been living there?
I've been here for 5 years, Debbie. So I first started to come down here from Canada. I was doing writers' retreats down here, and I just absolutely fell in love with the place. And so after I spent quite a few winters here, I decided to move here full time 5 years ago. And after COVID, there was a lot of people that joined me. So there's been more and more people that have been attracted to Puerto Vallarta. It's been voted the second best place in the world to retire to. It's very unique in terms of Puerto Vallarta is one of the safest cities in the world. So it's very interesting that, like people misunderstand, there's some bad vibes about Mexico and the cartel. But of course, we forget the size of Mexico, and Puerto Vallarta is on the West Coast. And we have absolutely, literally zero violence here. We are one of the safest cities in the world. You never see violence. You never hear gunfire. You never hear sirens even. So it's a very unique place. And as a woman alone, I always feel very, very safe walking the streets alone. It's a real family town. It's a very traditional seaside village. And it's got cobbled streets. It kind of looks like a little Spanish town, actually, because it's a lot of the original architecture is Spanish. So it really has got so much character. And of course, Elizabeth Taylor and the very famous movie, The Night of the Iguana, is what made Puerto Vallarta famous. A lot of people saw how beautiful the jungle was in the movie, and so a lot of people decided to check it out. And Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton both built their homes here, and they're actually 2 blocks from right here for where the House of Influence is.
Wow. I guess we get to maybe drive by. I don't know.
We can walk there. We just walk down
there.
Okay. Yeah. It's just two streets, a couple of blocks away. We just walk on the cobbled streets, and you'll see the first thing you see is the kissing bridge, because there's a little bridge that joined the 2 houses together.
Oh, wonderful. How cute.
Yes.
Yeah. So what is your mission and vision of the House of Influence?
Well, the House of Influence is quite young. We've only been here a year. In fact, we're going to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary in about 2 weeks. And our mission is to help people, give them a platform. So we have podcast studios here. We have a stage. As you know, I also have my own podcast show called Life with Collective Purpose. I have a radio show on the local radio, and I write a column for Tribune Travel. And so I can actually share that with anybody that comes here to the House of Influence. So I help people really spread their message and spread their success stories, because we all are inspired by other people's stories. And so what I help you do is get that story out to the world. So it starts with a book. And I love doing collaborative books where we all come together as a group and we work on the book together, and we write it in a week, Debbie. That's what I absolutely love, is that we can actually write a book in a week.
How do you do that?
Well, the reason why most people feel that it's a big job to write a book is because you're doing it all by yourself. And, like when you've got 50,000 words, with one person, that's a lot of writing. But when you've got 10 people and each person writes a chapter of 3,000 or 4,000 words, that can be done quite easily in a week. And then I do all the other publishing, the editing happens after that. So the actual creation of the book happens in the week that your group will be here.
Well, I've recently done my own chapter in a book, and you won't believe how it just flows out of you.
Yes.
So
yes.
It will flow out of you, and you have time to, go to the beach and do all these different type of activities. So, but first thing, I want to know a little bit about the accommodations and foods that you offer.
Yes. Well, as you can see from behind me, all of the accommodations here at the House of Influence are inspired by Frida. Frida was a very famous artist here in Mexico. So we've really embraced the colors of Mexico. And so all of the rooms are bright colors. They're either the aqua color you see, which is the same as your coloring as well, which is great. As you can see from the bedrooms there, everything is very brightly colored, mango yellow, fuchsia pink, and all traditional Mexican bedding and cushions. We have a beautiful perote wood table where we'll be doing all of our book writing and our mastermind workshops. And that's also where we also have our shared meals in the evening. We have traditional Mexican chefs. They spoil every single person that's here. And it's a beautiful environment. We're actually 5 floors in total. And on our rooftop, we've got a really huge ocean view. It's a view of the whole bay. And what you're seeing there is the nearby beach, and also the Church of Guadalupe, which is a very famous church. It's over 100 years old. And it's a very, very beautiful church, and it's beautiful to go in there. It's literally only a 5-minute walk from the retreat center. And I think the beautiful thing about what we're offering here is it's the authentic Mexican experience. You know, this isn't just a beach holiday. This is a chance for you to actually really experience Mexico. We'll take you and show you the art, the artisans, the galleries. We'll take you to some of the sacred places. The picture you're seeing right now is Los Arcos, which is a very sacred site. And there's like 49 ley lines that actually cross at this point. And we go there and you can feel the energy. It's quite magical. People say they step off the plane and they feel joy immediately the moment they step off the plane, because the ley lines are magnetic and it really energizes the whole area. And you'll see as soon as you walk off the plane, everybody's smiling, everybody's happy. I mean, Puerto Vallarta is a place of joy, and it's very, very beautiful. So I think everybody's going to really enjoy their time here, Debbie.
Okay. And do people have options of excursions with you?
Yes, well, there's a few standard excursions that we take you on because we really want people to experience the beautiful beaches. But we also can do additional excursions. So this is an excursion that we do as part of one of our beach tours. It's to Los Arcos. There's also really great snorkeling there. You can take a boat trip there as well, which goes to very remote bays. You can even take horseback riding to the waterfall. And there's many, many things that you can do here. And we do have plenty of time within the retreat to allow people to do some extras, as well as some of the retreat, the excursions that we've got planned as part of the package of this retreat.
I know I haven't been to Puerto Vallarta in a long, long time. Is there a rainforest too? Because you mentioned waterfalls.
Yes. Well, so you are coming in the winter season, which is the best season in Puerto Vallarta. The temperature is really, really beautiful. However, it's also at the end of the rainy season. So our rainy season is literally just finished, like a week ago, right? So that means that right now the waterfalls are really, they're running very fast and they're very, very beautiful. By let's say April, there'll be just a trickle because there's no rain in the winter here in Puerto Vallarta at all. So when you're going to be here, you've got the best of both worlds. The summer's just ended, so you've got the lush green of the jungle. The waterfalls are all, really beautiful with lots of water. And yet you have blue skies and sunshine every day. And in the evening, it's a little bit cool. So you're never going to feel too hot or too overheated in Puerto Vallarta.
Okay. And, within your facility, I noticed some photos, even though we don't have photos with us right now. You had a drumming circle. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, we have a Colombian drummer, and he's actually writing a book about the traditional rhythms of Colombia and South America. And so, and he also makes drums. So he actually makes the actual drums as well. And so he comes and he facilitates a drumming circle. He brings all the drums with him. So you get to try out lots of different kinds of drums. And he will lead us in a drumming circle where he teaches you some of the basic rhythms of the South American. It's called cumbia. Cumbia is the traditional rhythm of these drums, and he'll teach you those rhythms. And Debbie, it's really amazing that within about half an hour, he's got everybody completely working in time with one another. And it just feels so energizing just to feel you're all playing the drums together and you're all kind of energized with the same beat of the drum. And it's beautiful. So we offer the drumming circle to this retreat. So it's going to be a lot of fun to experience that.
Well, what's interesting is I'm going to, being in group coaching, they're going to make friends with each other, and there's going to be a lot of friendly competition and camaraderie. So it just continue that fun at your, at our beach reveal retreat in Puerto Vallarta. Okay.
Yes.
And the dates of it is November 6th to the 13th of 2024, correct?
That's right. That's right. And time will fly by because, of course, you've all got that wonderful incentive of keeping each other accountable so that that, you've got 6 months to shed those pounds, and then you'll be able to reveal the new you on the beach in Puerto Vallarta.
Like I said before, there's a week of onboarding. There's 23 weeks of Zoom coaching where they're going to build that friendly relationship with each other and accountability. And then after 6 months, there is an accountability group where they can ask questions, help each other out. And I'd be in there once a month to guide them as well, because they're going to be on maintenance at that time. And I hope you can join us for one meeting just to inspire them what to do with the book. I will tell them my story of how I created my own chapter in the book, but it'd be great if you could come and join us.
Oh, absolutely. It's wonderful to capture those stories because I think that people are inspired by the stories of other people. So to be able to capture those stories and the journey and talk about the journey, and just like you did at the beginning, Debbie, showing your before and after pictures, they're very, very inspiring. And people they look at those stories and they think, well, if they did it, I can do it. So I'm going to be leading everybody in that journey of sharing your stories so that you can inspire other people to do the same.
And I found that writing my story, in a chapter of a book, it's therapeutic.
Oh, yes.
You release it's easier for you to release your past and say, okay, that was then, this is now. And, and this whole coaching experience, you're going to be working on your mindset, and I'm going to help them mold a new mindset for themselves so they can work with themselves, and they will break their beliefs of I can't and say anything is possible.
Yes, absolutely. And I love that you're doing it in this way because, people need to be accountable. They need to work in a group. It's very difficult when you're trying to, achieve a health and wellness goal if you're just doing it by yourself. So, I've seen so much success when people do a group coaching program like this, and to have that incentive at the end that you're going to be able to put that bikini on and show off your new body on the beach. That's a great incentive. I love it.
And I always have them envision their new version themselves and put it all over the place, because it's just going to remind them to get to their goal weight, and it will become possible. Another thing I recommend is that people take pictures along the journey. And are we going to have a photographer that'll take a picture at the retreat, maybe at the beach or something?
We have an amazing photographer, Debbie, like a really, really amazing photographer. And, one of the things that we can do, and, if people want to do, like, for example, a specialized photo session, if they want to do like a boudoir session, for example, and they want to do a beach session, then our photographer can actually do that as well. And so he actually specializes in wedding photography. And so he actually really captures people so beautifully. And and we actually also have a stylist. she's originally from Mexico, and every time you see this woman, she's so beautiful, and she's always dressed in the most beautiful traditional Mexican tapestry style clothing, and she loves to take people on a shopping trip. So for all those people that have lost the weight, they can go and buy a whole new wardrobe of absolutely beautifully bright clothes that perhaps they wouldn't be able to get at home. So she absolutely loves to do that, to take you to all the traditional kind of Mexican artisan stores and meet the Mexican fashion designers, and actually buy, beautiful, bright clothes that you might not be able to buy at home.
Oh, that just sounds fabulous. And of course, they're going to get to relax too, right?
Yes, there's lots of relaxing. People tell me that when they come to Puerto Vallarta, they feel like they've actually done so much, but at the same time, they go away feeling so just energized and revitalized. You can go to the beach for an afternoon and you feel like you've been there for, the whole weekend, because it's just such a beautiful, wonderful environment. And here at the House of Influence, we have this amazing rooftop with this, like I said, it's got this huge ocean view, and we have the jacuzzi on the rooftop, so you can just relax in the jacuzzi and look at this beautiful ocean view, stare at the stars at nighttime. So there's lots and lots of opportunities to be outside and to really enjoy the environment of Puerto Vallarta.
Wow, stargazing. Whenever you travel in a different location, that set of stars in that sky is a little bit different.
Oh yes, it is, definitely.
So I just love stargazing. Well, are there any other activities you want to talk about, regarding, maybe you can talk about how the book is going to be done a little bit more in detail.
Absolutely. So we all start on sort of day one, and we do a mastermind. So we sit around a big table, and we actually share our journey. So I'm sure you'll be joining in with that, Debbie, as well, because I'm sure you'll be actually sharing some of the experiences that you had as you were helping people on that journey. And we talk about some of the highlights. We talk about, where are the low points? Where were the high points? Where were the challenges? And the aim of your story is to really capture that whole journey so that you can inspire other people to do exactly the same thing. So we make it fun. We use, flip chart paper and big colored pens, and we just kind of mind map all of our ideas. So all of the things that happened to us along that journey, we're going to be mind mapping. And, I'll be helping you, Debbie, and I'm sure you're going to be helping the group as well, to capture those points as it actually happens. So they're going to be taking lots of notes so that by the time you come here, you're actually already going to have lots of stories written. You're already going to be able to record the highs and the lows. I actually really recommend to people that they kind of keep a daily journal. Even if it's just to have a couple of lines saying, hey, I woke up this morning and I felt so energized. I haven't, felt this much energy. Or, I woke up today and I walked down the street and my neighbor commented and said, hey, have you lost some weight? Or, those little pivotal points, right? So we capture all of those. And
I do give them a daily action journal where they can track their emotions, write their gratitude for the day, and how they feel at the end of the day. Plus they can write down what foods work with, list their foods so they know what foods worked with them and what didn't. And so they will be recapping something like that on a daily basis. So that's something I definitely work on. And like I said, I also encourage them to do photos during that journey, because they can really, if they don't do photos, they really don't see their changes. They look in the mirror and they're like, well, nothing's really changed. But if they look at an earlier photo, they're like, wow, I have released some weight.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Usually you see it in the face first, right? That's the first place that you see it, is in the face. I know I've had lots of comments like that. But I think people will see, like, as they release and share their story, and share their, their journal notes that they've been doing with you. I think it helps people to even congratulate themselves, and come from that place of celebration and say, look what I did. Like, I'm so proud of what I did. So that's what we really want to capture when you write your chapter. And just like you said, Debbie, it's going to flow out of them so easily because it's all captured anyway in your journal notes. And I just want to remind people that me and Debbie are both dyslexic. So what you have to remember is that writing a chapter in a book is not about being a good writer. It's about being a good storyteller. And I'm a publisher and I have an amazing editing team. So I always say to my editors, you know, you're the experts. You're the ones that know how to take a good story and make it into great writing. So that's why it's important to work with a good publisher and one that's experienced, because then it doesn't matter if you're dyslexic, because all you need to do is capture your story and then pass it on to the publisher, and then the publisher passes it on to the editor, and the editor is the one that actually turns that into really beautiful writing. So, you know, that's really the key when it comes to writing a book. So all those people that say, I can't write, I don't want to go on this beach reveal retreat because I can't write. No, it's not about writing. It's about capturing your story. And I'm going to help you do that. And Debbie's going to help you do that. And at the end, you're going to be in a published book sharing your success story. And people are going to look at your story and go, wow, she's a really good writer. I mean, that's how all the rich and famous do it, Debbie. They don't write their own books, right? They just do interviews. They just capture, they just do journal notes. And then it's the editing team that make it magical. So exactly. You don't need to worry about that.
And I'm giving the tools not only to release weight, but that journal. I do, you know, in the Zoom meetings, I do talk about, you know, your wins, celebrating your wins. And, you know, and then if they have obstacles and frustrations, releasing those. So that's really important to understand that you can release the stuff. You know, I always say this is now. You're working on a new version of yourself. Remember that you envision this new version of yourself and you will be that way. So just anything is possible, as I said before. And I just, you know, want to reiterate, they're kind of be taking notes along the way with the 6 months with me, so they can take their little journal with them. And they can, you know, look at their notes they have, and that'll make it a lot easier. And matter of fact, they can even highlight the areas they want to put in their story.
Oh, yes.
Beforehand.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is going to be made so easy with the process that you've got as well, Debbie. I mean, people will be, you know, it's a big deal to be a first-time published author. And, you know, and I've made like literally over 90% of the books that we've published bestsellers. So I'm sure this book is going to be a bestseller too, which means that you're going to be a best-selling author, a best-selling published author. And, you know, for anything you do as a career, having that as a credibility piece is huge. I mean, it's absolutely huge. If you are a coach yourself, or if you're in business, or if you're a realtor, or, you know, in many of the service and customer service industries, when you share your personal stories in a best-selling published book, it's like having a business card. People get to know you, and we all buy from people that we love, know, and trust. So writing your story in a book, in a chapter, is a way that you can actually help people to love, know, and trust you. So it's a brilliant business piece as well, Debbie. Absolutely brilliant. People can, and of course it's expenses paid, remember, because you're writing a book. So as long as you're using that book as a tool somehow in your business, or in your you know, within your service industry, or maybe you even have a charity that you support, for most people, they can claim this as a business expense.
Yes, and if they have problems with confidence, just writing this book and getting it done, just like releasing the weight. You know, I stepped out of my little fat suit and became a completely different person. You're going to be so happy. You're going to be so more productive. You're going to love your life a lot better because you're healthier, and you're going to enjoy life. So, yes. And then writing this book, like I said, it's like it's therapeutic. You really are saying goodbye to the old self and celebrating your new self.
Yes.
And you can always look at it whenever you want. And, you know, like you said, it becomes like a little business card for them, or at least a little accolade on their resume that that I wrote this book, and it may launch you into doing more books on your own. You never know.
Oh, there's so many people that do that, Debbie. Once they see how easy it can actually be, they go on to write their own books. They're like, oh, wow, there's so much more that I can write. Now I can see how easy it is. There's so much more I could write. And then they go on to do their own books. So a lot of people do that. And Debbie, I also just wanted to say one thing, because when I came to Puerto Vallarta, I actually lost a lot of weight when I came to Puerto Vallarta, because we have all these, we do have hills, right? Because Puerto Vallarta is kind of built on a hill, and the cobbled streets are so beautiful to walk around. So a lot of people that come here do a lot of walking. It's a real walking town, right?
I love that.
Yeah, so you can walk
everywhere. To move your body. I mean, I'm a runner actually, but these people, they don't need to be a runner like me. They can actually just walk it. So
yeah. There's so much to see. Just walking, like literally 2 blocks around. We have like 10 beautiful art galleries. You just walk in a square. It's called the Art Walk, and it's like like a 1 hour walk, right? And you just go from one art gallery to the other, and it's just, the art is beautiful. You can see this piece of art behind me. This is an original piece of art, and the prices are amazing. I think I paid like $200 for this original piece of art behind me. So I think people will really see the most beautiful, authentic artisan crafts and clothes whilst they're here. And one thing, Debbie, that I'm really going to inspire people to do is to learn how to salsa dance.
Oh, fun. That's fun.
So we do have a stage, and so we do have the ability to actually have a live Cuban band to come and play, and to bring in a salsa teacher. So for those people who would like to learn the basic steps of salsa, they can learn how to salsa dance.
Whoa, I love the, walking around town, because when you walk and you have so much what I call eye candy, it just keeps you so involved that you don't even know you're exercising. And then salsa, just listening to the music and moving with the beat.
Yes.
Just wonderful. So they're going to stay active, and they're going to eat healthy foods, right? They're going to have healthy foods. So you kind of help people with different diets as well. They're gluten-free and things like that.
We do. We actually have a Mexican chefs. So these are like the mama chef. Do you know what I mean? Whenever I see Susie and Rachel, I feel like it's like they did a much better job than my mother did, right? So I always feel very mothered by them, and they always want to make sure that anybody who's got special diets are taken care of. So we have very traditional Mexican authentic food. But we put the spices on the side. So for those people that don't like hot food, not all Mexican food is spicy, actually. In fact, Mexican food is not spicy. That's the really interesting thing. If you see the way that Mexicans actually cook food, they will cook the dishes, the food, and then they will put a whole variety of spices on the table as condiments. And then you'll watch the Mexicans, the way that they actually serve the food is they add in the spices that they like. So the actual food itself is not hot and spicy, but it's very, very tasty. And of course, here in Puerto Vallarta, the fishermen go out every single morning fishing on their pangas. We do not have any of the big fishing boats here. We don't have net fishing here. All of the fish is literally caught, with fishing rods, with small panga boats. And so every morning at 5 a.m., our housekeepers and chefs go to the local market. They buy fresh fish that's just been caught that morning. That's fresh vegetables and fruit that's actually grown here in Puerto Vallarta. And everybody will just be amazed by the taste of the food here. I mean, literally, when you bite into a tomato, I think you call those tomatoes.
Tomatoes, whatever you want to say.
Tomato. They're lush and bright and red, and you just bite into them, and they just they spill all over. It's like eating a luscious fruit, and really, honestly, the tomatoes here are amazing, and the papayas and the mangoes and the bananas, and all of the vegetables that you get here are just so fresh, and you can tell that they're grown locally because they're not perfect. So I love to go to the local markets, and our chefs go every single morning to buy the fresh fish and ingredients. And when I go to the markets, Debbie, I delight. You see the carrots, and they're all got like knobbly bits and things growing out of them, and they're not perfect, and that none of the vegetables are perfect. Everything is, you can see that it's just been pulled from the earth, from somebody's garden, literally. And so it's really the food is amazing. But if people have got natural, like special diets, we do also have a Costco. So we can do the gluten-free bread or the special granola, whatever you can get at home, right? At Costco, you can get here in Puerto Vallarta. So if there's special needs and people say, no, I need almond milk, or I need soya milk, or I need to have this, granola or whatever, we can accommodate that as well. So yeah,
that's
we can,
wonderful. And having the spices actually boosts your metabolism. I just love the whole idea with the food concept. So, Julie Ann, how much is the complete package without the products? Because everyone's an individual fingerprint of health, and I cannot put the products in there for their weight loss journey. So what is the cost of paying for my coaching services for those 6 months, and the accountability group, and your resort?
Okay, so let me just summarize quickly, Debbie, what this is. It's 6 months of coaching and accountability with Debbie. 6 months, right? That will keep you accountable. It is your room. So your room, it is the food, and it is 2 excursions, all included in that price, and my coaching every day to help you capture your story, and all of the publishing costs. So there's nothing extra. There's no editing costs. There's no design costs. There's no printing costs. Everything is included for only $3,997. Debbie, that's crazy. Did we do the figures wrong?
I don't know, but that's what we're going with, right? So yeah, I just, you guys are really getting a bargain, because this is group coaching, and you're going to be able to share your story once you're done. Because my goal is to get you to your goal weight. So with all my coaching services, and giving you little tidbits to treasure as well. So, this is going to be such an amazing event with the weight loss journey and the retreat together, and writing a book. I am so excited about it. And for my audience, I want you to think about, we're in the holiday season, and it's important that you think about yourself and give yourself a fun gift of health. And the way you do that right now is investigate a little bit further with me and Julie Ann about this beach reveal retreat that starts with the weight loss portion of the product with me, where you have the 6 months of training, one being the onboarding, 23 of the Zoom, and then they have accountability on Facebook as well. So up to the retreat time. And like I said, Julie Ann, I sneak in to just give you some insights of what, upcoming, things are going to happen with the book part and the retreat. So it's great planning that we've done everything. And so that starts on March 1st of 2020. You have to get completely signed up before that, because I have to go through your onboarding process and everything else. And then I am a person I've kept my weight off for over 10 years. And this is my anniversary month. So it's important that you have an expert that can help you out, that really has the toolbox for you. Now, the retreat itself is November 6th to the 13th of 2024. And I want you to, keep those dates in mind, March 1st of 2024 and November 6th to the 13th in 2024, where you're going to be in Puerto Vallarta. And when you give yourself this gift of health, you're going to be so happy with the celebration that you're going to have with your life. And you're going to go, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? So contact me for information. And you can do that on my link tree, which has been playing around for a while. There is a free consultation link. So you get to know me better. There is a subscribe to my newsletter, which you get to know a little bit about this from this beach reveal retreat. And a lot of people have reported back. It's really a unique concept. So just think about that. This doesn't come by every day. And there's also a link where you can reach out to me. I guess I already said that. But that link again is https:// www.debi, DEBI, changes, CHANGES, lives, LIV as in Victor, ES.com, just like my radio TV show. And you will be part of, you'll be getting the information. I just want to remind you of some upcoming events I'm having. I have Compound Pharma's Ben Fuchs in person in Huntington Beach on November 11th. He's going to start speaking about the triangle health and how you can handle that triangle health. And he speaks at 11 a.m. and doors open at 10 a.m. The tickets are at https:// bit.ly, which is bit.ly/Ben, spelled BEN, Fuchs, spelled FUCHS, live, which is LI, capitalized lowercase BE, to purchase tickets. And I am considering a Zoom portion. Would you want to be part of that, Sherry Ann, to see it on Zoom?
Wow, sounds
so
good.
I'm considering it. So a lot of people have been asking me about it. Remember, I'm not going to spell out my link tree again. You can always reach me for that free consultation. You can always reach me for information about this beach reveal retreat, my events. I'm always offering something exciting. So I want you to continue watching for these exciting events coming on. And the guest I'm going to be talking with on this, my radio and TV show, Debi Changes Lives, because that's where your holistic journey begins. Thank you, Julie Ann.
Thank you, Debbie. See you in a while.
Yeah.